Sometimes we don't realize that we're scared. Literally. Sometimes we don't realize. That we're scared. To find ourselves running around to the arms of the enemy. I don't mean dumber as some people may call it. But the enemy that we've created in our mind as a result of past trauma. When every whisper outside became a storm in my mind, every computer glitch became a plot against my life, I knew something was going on. The unintentional, there are two different sides to this coin, the unintentional and the intentional. One is a lightweight, one is dark. Either one, I can't just look at you and move on. Too woke. I changed my number 3 times in a month because I thought they were coming for me. You know, the ones who were helping me. I mean, it feels hard because I caught her lying on me. How do I forgive? Are you them? Can I believe you? Absolutely not. But I can believe what's in my head. The one who never failed me. I remember when they screamed in my ear, slapped me upside my head. They told me to run twice and saved my life. Who are you? I don't know. But I do know him, he, they, who saved my life. Locked that door when there was no lock. If I need to go, they would tell me now. No whisper, it would be loud. Like these Miles Davis sounds. Hey Miles, I'll have to look into your story now. Messages from the sky healed my heart. Thank y'all, 'cause fear had me scared. False evidence appearing real almost had me running right into my enemy's chair. Growing up on a religious note, indoctrinated, sedated, scary. It has a lot of repercussions. Change has a lot of repercussions. There are a lot of repercussions. And I know you're scared. You don't know what to believe. The glimpse of the idea of something different, you're binding it up and casting it away. Not knowing that certain prayers and certain ways we think even about those things that we love and want to hold on to are casting spells. We weren't taught the truth. As a result, we've caused ourselves a lot of dilemmas. So I get it. You are scared. And you are wondering what's next in your life. As a result, it seems like you are constantly making the choices that put you right in a situation that you wonder how in the hee-haw hell did I get here? That's what you're wondering and thinking to yourself. I get it. You don't know. When you don't know, I'll give you an example. I remember being in situations with people that I loved, not knowing that the people that I loved were going through some things, dealing with fear, and fear shows up in different ways. Fear shows up in just being scared. Fear shows up in being paranormal, like paranormal situation. Fear shows up in not only in the paranormal situations, but fear shows up in what paranoia, schizophrenia. Fear shows up in anger, a lot in anger. Fear is angry. Fear is mad as hell. Okay? Fear is mad as hell because fear is not even real, right? Is that what they say? They say fear is false evidence appearing real. So fear is an identity that people choose to suppress and ignore because fear is false evidence appearing real. So when just to say that to someone who is in fear and they're looking at fear dead in its face, they're like, the hell are you talking about? I'm looking at this. I have reasons to feel this way. I feel this way because there was a reason to fear at some point, time or another. In many cases, that's the case. I didn't just get scared. I'm running in head first with this entity that at one time or another scared the shit out of me. And you're telling me that it's false evidence appearing real. F you, right? That's what some of you may say. I don't know what you're talking about. Because this is reality. So who do you believe? How do you change? How do we change this? Where did this fear come from? Who created this ugly entity that is here to teach us now? So I see you. I see you. I know you've had a reason to feel the way that you feel, and you're wondering, how did I get here? How did I get scared? I wasn't scared before. How did I get scared? There was trauma. You went through some horrible trauma, and it scared the crap out of you. That's how you got here. Even for those who have been very courageous and strong, and you felt that you were just moving along, and then there were times that you were moving along because your spirit guides, your spirit team was helping you. And they were helping you make it through. Then there comes this time to heal. But in that process, you are going to face fear again. And you're probably going to face fear quite a few times. And then you're going to have to be able to decide, who do I follow? Do I follow this entity that is raging inside of me, trying to scare the shit out of me again? Or do I follow the small, still voice in my mind that says, I need you to stay right there. Don't move. Because if that's the case, and this is something that I learned to pray and learn to stand on and believe in, and that is, okay, God, if everything, this is what I said for myself, this is what I created for me, and I'm going to share it with you, was everything that I do, I move in the flow. of the divine direction that I'm supposed to go with ease. I move in the flow with ease. I'm going to my next step and it's not going to be a problem. I am going to do it and it's going to feel so good because I'm going with the flow. And even if I feel a little resistance, it's okay because I know that I'm going with the flow, that I am able to listen to the divine voice vibration of the Most High. The vibration of my internal map quest, Holy Spirit intuition, i.e. that I am flowing so effortless. I'm not afraid. I understand clearly between my guidance and fear. I know what feels good and what doesn't. One thing I love about the Divine Source Energy is that the Divine Source Energy will give us things to remember. Our spirit team, our guides, ministering angels, ancestors who are working on the other side for you. Yeah, they still have that same sensation, that same energy. They're still flowing where you can remember. So some of you will have dreams and things of that nature. Don't negate them. I was thinking about this morning about, I was thinking about how do people love when all they've known is fear? The one that we were supposed to get love from, at least that's what they told us, right? There was a fear tactic attached to it. It was like a good master type thing, you know. It's like, I bring this up again, like Harriet Tubman. I know what you're thinking. You're like, how can I believe this woman, or how can I believe the people, and where are we going right now? Because everybody's talking about, you know, energy and this and that, because everything is energy. Everything is. And this here, I want you to find comfort in knowing that you're on the road to discovering true love. The type of, we were introduced to quote unquote love by a God that was going to burn us in hell if we didn't choose A or B, which one was going to be right or wrong. I mean, that's what it was. Some people will argue and say, oh no, it was clear, you know, you had one way to go. When the whole objective of this game called life was completely misconstrued and thwarted for us, so that we could be controlled by the manipulation, and it was handed to us by fear. So how do you love? It's a wonder why people have so much trouble in relationships, platonic or romantic. Especially romantic, because there we were told that, I was raised Pentecostal. And in that fashion, I was told, hell, you cannot get a divorce. It didn't matter. He'd have to do some great infidelity or something, and that would, quote unquote, break a contract. Yeah, and that was false. Especially in this day and age. And I'm not going to go into it now because that's a whole show by itself. And that is understanding where we are in the game. and even understanding the game. But we have to take it back to the first things first. In this on this morning time. We're going to take it back. And take it back to the understanding of this reality and truth. One, my babies. We have to understand who God is. You hear me talk about the romantic excursion that I've just had in 2024. And trust me, it was so romantic. So romantic. So romantic to the point that never knew love like this before. That type. Oh my gosh. I was in the Herman running for my life at some time, doing all that kind of stuff. And I was romantically involved with the divine. Who would have thought? Seriously. Super amazing. Super califragilisticexpialidocious type. Oh my goodness. So you'll find in the upcoming show on May 5th with Prince, I've reconnected with my family, our family, the spirit team. I've always felt like I was closer to the spirit world than I was to this world from the beginning. And I just didn't know who I was. I didn't know, and now I do. That part. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. It's like I just woke up trying to have my coffee. Look at that. Eyelash is off. I don't even know how I'm looking. It doesn't matter. I need to talk to you guys. And we're in this ambiance idea of let it flow. However it's flowing. Do I stop it for an eyelash because I'm concerned about somebody saying something about my eyelash like they did to the Congresswoman? Lady said something. What? You guys know who I'm talking about. I can't remember her name. Crockett. Shout out to her. Because a lady had something to say about her eyelash, and she had something to say after that, and we don't leave that alone. She put it in the bucket. That was a slam dunk. Just like that. Just like that. Oh my gosh. Okay, Keeping It Real has a lot of color and flavor. No bars. No. Oh man, I'm thinking about that segment, that video that I heard. But anyways, I know where you are. Trust me. How do you know love? You were told, all right, you got to go here. And if you don't go here this particular way, no flow, you didn't have a choice in anything. You're going to go this particular way in terms of your spirituality, or else not. You don't get what you were maybe wanted. It's not like, no, if you don't leave that candy alone, you're not gonna have candy for a month. It was, you don't leave that candy alone, I'm gonna blow your head off. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. You had to be like 12 years old for that. 12 years old, it went into place. Until you were 11, you were still on a chopping block, and you were put into the infirmary. I forgot how to say that. Don't mock me, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. Put it in the comments. I can't. Well, yeah, they were grooming you for the slaughterhouse. Seriously. conditioned to look at everyone weird. In some religions, they had to wear long, long skirts down to the feet. I couldn't wear pants. You know, I bought my pair of pants when I was 19 and, man, got my ears pierced. And I became somewhat of a rebel. I wanted to proclaim my freedom to put on what I wanted. That's probably why I wear my cleavage out all the time. I don't know. I just like doing that. It's just what I do. At the same time, no one ever had to like tie me down because I've never been a promiscuous person. I've just never been that person. And I find out I've never been that in any lifetime. That's not the role I played, okay? It wasn't that. It was always about the mission. The same mission that I had when I came here before I knew who I was in past lives. Not who I was, but who had the honor of carrying the same soul that I do. In this case, though, I am reincarnated. But anyways, we're not going to go there. Just hold on. I know. I know. It's hard. Yeah. Hard out here for. That's what I'm thinking about. Empire song. I love Empire. Anyways, shout out to Taraji Henson and Terrence Howard, who I often think about now. That's interesting. I often think about Terrence Howard because of where he is spiritually. And he reminds me of, like Prince. Prince is like my BFF, okay? I have all the clairaudiences, clairvoyance. I had to learn these terms. Anyhow, when I think about all of these things that we've been through in terms of fear and how we were introduced to love, many of us, especially the urban Black community, because that's where we found our freedom, that's where we found some kind of peace. There was this bondage that we were already coming from, and in that we found some sort of freedom. But little did we know there was more to go. Little did we know that we had only touched the surface, not even the hem of the garment of this. If we only knew. And one thing that is done and revealed in the Happiness Collection, in the book Goal of the Soul, Convos with God makes it make sense. Makes it make sense. I was in a hermit for the year of 24 and part of 25. I'm peeking my head out a little bit now, but in that process, the divine gave me the message and the key for humankind. And in this message, it is freedom. You'd be surprised to even get to know who God truly is. God even shares with me how God came about. Because I had questions. I'm that one. I asked God, I said, because see, I'm real cool with God. And I said, okay. So after the question had been answered previously with, I just am. I'm like, I know you just are. This was on day one of Convos with God, because I've always talked to God more than I have man, but I had never documented it. So I'm like, so who are you? Like, I know you El Shaddai and Elohim and Jehovah Jireh. We get it. I get that. But where did you come from? Like, you just appeared up here in the sky. Like, what's going on for real? And the first response on that first day was a simple one, which was, I am. I am that I am. I get it. I am that I am. Because I'm a smart butt, so I am that I am. Okay, I get it, God, but what are you talking about? I mean, you just told me that I walked on water, and now you're going to give me this simple answer. Like, even that part was a lot for me. It's like you walked on water. Then come to find out, man, Divine say don't tell you. Either you watch the other videos, because there's some parts I do talk about that. But about what does it mean to walk on water? Like, there's so many things that have been so misconstrued for us as a tactic of control. But later I circled back around to that question, because I'm that one. I want to ask, I want detail. It's like, okay, I know I am that I am, and I know you were that you would, you just was. But we need to go a little deeper. Like, who are you? Where did you come from, though? Where did you just appear in the sky? Like, what? You'll be surprised to know that the Divine told me, and it made so much sense. It made so much sense. It made tornadoes make sense. It made everything make sense. It made this entire unique dichotomy between God, love, and anger, as I talk about in the book, Say Hello to My New Friend, Anger, because it's unveiling the romantic dichotomy between God and love and anger itself, as we've defined it here. Because everything that we experience here is literally because we've defined it. The example that we have for who we are is all encompassed in the process, the natural process of procreation, the natural process of creation, the process of creation that we create here, like even down to the point of life, where the Divine says, and I'll say this again, these are little bits and pieces that you'll get that will come in combos with God. You will see is that when it comes to who we truly are, it is amazing. It was amazing for me to understand that we create more than just flesh and blood. What are you talking about? Because I asked the question, what do I tell people when I go and speak? And I tell people that, hey, listen, this whole idea here of listen to God, to go with the flow. What do I do when that voice is telling me to go and murder somebody, or go kill somebody, go do something wrong, or something that is not morally appropriate, that's not good for somebody, that's going to inflict pain on somebody? What do I do when that I'm feeling so strongly, I'm hearing that from this quote-unquote voice process? What do I tell people? And it was so amazing, because the Divine answered so eloquently as always, because you create more than just flesh and blood. You create entity energies. You create entities is what? Energies is what the Spirit said. And then I added the entity, and the Spirit said, yeah. So entity energies like that have the same ability to communicate to you like I do. Because in this one short segment, as the Convos with God dialogue began, in that one short segment, there was so much information and so many answers to lay the foundation. That was so amazing, because then it said, you create more than that by the way you think. And because you've not known who you are, who you have been all this time, you have been creating entity energies that vibrate and communicate to you like I do. Because Spirit said to me, I don't talk. I don't talk. I vibrate. I am the highest level of consciousness. Everything is energy. I vibrate to you. So what I do is I communicate to you, and everything translates into whatever language you speak. My vibration translates to you into whatever language you speak. They can vibrate to you. That's how they prick the bear, okay? They poke the bear, and when you respond, now they know you listening. And they know who you listening to. Those entities, and I had began to find out so much more through this process, the entity energies do not go away unless they are destroyed. So that is something that as we prepare and we prepare for the new world, we prepare ourselves to get grounded for what we're going to experience in the spiritual battle. As we prepare ourselves, then what we're going to be doing is chopping away at some of those things. Chopping away. Getting away from the old way and getting rid of entity energies that they were not created in good. They are not good. None of that. They hop and go between people, do all kind of stuff. Because in the spirit realm, that's what you do. You're able to do whatever you do. And where do they go? People who are ignorant, who don't know who they are. They go to low vibration, gossipers, drinkers, alcoholics, all this kind of stuff. Honey, y'all are a squatter house for these entity energies who have no place to go. And just because you're high vibration doesn't mean that something that is not attached to your bloodline and your seed is not going to try to step up in there. It's being ignorant to them. Because a lot of times they can come very nice. It's in the Hermit book. I wrote one of the poems, and it talks about that. A thief is not. A thief doesn't come and announce itself and say, "Hey, I'm a thief. Arrest me." A thief is a thief. A thief come quiet. A manipulator, how they were even able to manipulate us. We've been running around in life like Forrest Gump. Running around like Forrest Gump. Where you going, Forrest? I don't know. I'm just running. He had a whole community of people, miles and miles stretched along, just running. Where we going? I don't know. We just running. That's what we've been doing. I don't know. That's just what they say do. Go to church on Sunday. Oh my God. Speaking of which, I'm sorry, but let's finish that thought. Okay. Go to church on Sunday. Go to school. Get a degree. Get a job, a house, and a picket dang on fence, and then you make it, and that's your happy. So we have attached happiness to things. We have attached the idea of happy, the whole idea of abundance to all of these things. And if we dare talk about it not being that, then we on the wrong subject. We don't even get it. It's to take it further, it's like it's a way it's described. I'll leave it for the book because I'll talk. But there's a way that we've decided to allow for things to be that it's not. We're on the field. But the field is being clear because we're getting ready now to prepare for the game. So there are people in place my community that have been always listening to me, for some of you, for many of you, it may be foreign. And so you may think that I'm alone in this way of thinking, and absolutely not. And what it is so not. It's not the way we thought that it was. So I get it. It's scary. It's scary to think that Prince, for example, was actually preaching that Purple Rain was a spiritual anthem. Because see, if you don't know, you know. Don't know. I remember I had a show when I was on Radio 1 back in the day. Okay. And I was covering I am music. So I'm always going to cover music and different things like that. So I was covering a show on hip hop, gospel hip hop. Because there was some controversy going on about gospel hip hop. And what was his name? I loved him. And the kids and I used to listen to him all the time. Oh, God, he went to Creflo Dollar's church. I don't know. It starts with a C. Anyways, we got to keep moving. Okay, so I remember being on the radio, and I brought some youth, and I brought my daughter. My daughter was, I think she was 4 years old at the time. Yeah, 4. She had just turned 4. And before I went to break, because she looked like she was itching to say something, and she's very prophetic, and she was just itching. She had to say something. So I'm talking, and I was asking people how they felt about the whole idea of gospel hip hop, because a lot of Christians were bucking up against it. It was really too edgy for the doctrine of Christianity, especially a Pentecostal like I was, because it was what's his name? Oh man, I can't remember his name. Oh, I'll have to put it in the comments. But oh man, I can't remember. But anyways, my daughter wanted to say something, so I let her have the mic close to the end. And I said, before we go to break, I'm going to let my baby girl, Lauren, say something. I give the mic to Lauren, and Lauren says, I said, Lauren, what is your idea of gospel hip hop? Because we loved it. We'd be jumping in the car, having a good time, dancing and everything. She said, well, you have to be careful what you listen to, because sometimes you could be listening to sex. And I was shocked because she said that. And we quickly went to break. You know what's so wonderful about that? Prince did an interview with Mel B. Shout out to Mel B. I loved that interview, and I've watched since my encounter with Prince in the spirit world. And giving me, introducing me to even Lennykravitz, who I had no idea nor interest to engage with, and now I feel like I know Lenny just from a couple of videos, because he reminds me of me. And so and I'm so happy and elated that there are people who understand this side of the fence, and especially those who understand love, because I am love. Check out the monologue of anger on the Clarissa Show, featuring on TPP. I don't know what's wrong with y'all sleeping on that. But anyways, in that interview, Prince said, she did a question and answer. It's like a part of her little interview skit, which I loved. And I ask you a question, I say a word, and you tell me what comes to your mind. When she said sex, he said spirituality. And it's true. It is so true. When I think about making love in the rain, da, 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 on my window, Hey, I think about the hermit when I was homeless and I was sitting in the car, which was the first time that I was introduced to Princeton and didn't even know it. And that was the star that was outside my window. Pain. Do-do-do. Dun, 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 on my window. Hey, shout out to Janet Jackson on that one. But I remember looking to the right of me in the parking lot of Alpharetta, Georgia police station, where I had come to park my car. Shout out to the haters who touched down at the Avalon. But anyways, I would have never had this wonderful celestial event. So everything was in divine order. So I looked out there. This bright, it was so bright. The star was super bright. And as I saw the star, I remember one night, second night, third night. But it was always in the same spot, and it was bright as hell. It was shining so bright. I decided to take a picture of it one night. And when I took a picture this particular night, it was a purple sky. That beautiful purple is the purple that you see on all of my marketing and when you see the purple on the True Purpose Development Show, that is actually an enlarged picture of that sky. God gave me all of my artwork from the celestial experience in the Hermit. That's what all of that is. I didn't have to hire anybody. I didn't have to get it from online. That's my stuff. That's our work. Yeah. And the sky was purple. Beautiful purple. The face and the goal of the soul. Now what I realized was not a smiley face. It was actually the Matrix. I didn't know that was a symbol of the Matrix. My son used to tell me he was in the Matrix when he was little, and he seemed like he was in the Matrix too. Because boy, the gifts of that kid. Both of my children. Whoa. You would never know. You would never know. A lot of you have birthed children that are starseeds, and our society called them weird, you're going to find out so much stuff about Prince. Prince has definitely returned in the celestial and did it extravagantly. Prince said that when Mel B asked him about his birthday, and she asked him, are you, he was looking forward to his upcoming birthday. Are you excited about it? And what do you don't want to celebrate your birthday? And he said, no, I'll celebrate my death. And he came in with a celebration. You'll see that. You'll witness that in the show. I'm just doing a special. Subscribe to my channel, Dr. Princess-Odilia. Subscribe to my channel on YouTube so that you can be notified when it starts, and tune in. And I know you guys will be there. And don't forget tonight we celebrate our love for you. No, tonight we're going to have the celebration for Aretha Franklin. I'm sorry, this weekend, Saturday. May 5th is, what is Saturday's? Saturday the 8th. Yeah. No, the 7th. April 7th, sorry. Saturday, April 7th. That's when we're going to have Aretha Franklin. So guys, subscribe so you guys can be notified when the shows start. And make sure that you click the notification button on the subscription. You really don't want to miss May 5th. And by the way, I was going to air the Prince, the Return of Prince and the Celestial. I was going to air that earlier, and Prince kept saying, and it's going to be I have to say, there's a message from Prince to Lenny Kravitz, and there's a message to Usher and his mother. All of this stuff, I did not know anything about it. I did not know about. Prince said to look up that relationship. You'll see how Prince proved to me that it was Prince that I was listening to, because a lot of times, and I know I'm not alone, this is shout out to anybody who has a gift. You know that you hear in the spirit, you know that you feel in the spirit, but because you have been told that it's some paranormal experience that's bad, or it's something that you shouldn't pay attention to, you have not paid attention to your divine gifts. We are spirits, we are energy. You will understand in Goal of the Soul, which I want you to get on board. April 12th, we're doing a workshop for Goal of the Soul. Okay, I want everyone to discover who you are. Whose soul are you carrying? You never know. Okay, some of you, you never know whose soul you're carrying. Okay, so and why is that important? Let's get in the game. Okay, what you look like being on a football field with a basketball. Okay, you can be having a ball. You really can be having a ball on the football field with a basketball. And y'all can be doing your thing, having a good time, right? And you can take and carry that on and carry that on. But there is never anybody that's going to make the field goal. You're not going to win the game, though. But you be having a ball. Okay, you could be having the ball, bouncing it around, playing, making up your own games. You know what I'm saying? You can be having a ball, but you will not ever win the game. You just won't. If there's injuries, there's no rules of the game. There's nothing to help you. There's nothing to protect you. You just, out there dribbling a ball on a football field. I'm just saying. Okay? So now we are clearing the fields, clearing the playing field, and there's going to be some things that we have to do. But we fought for this physical realm. Now we're going to go and we're getting ready to intentionally live our lives on purpose. And we're going to subscribe to the process of the game. God said, there's no rules between me and you, but there's rules to the game. And the main focus of the game is the flow. How you flowing? All right? That's the focus of the game. And yes. Okay? Well, there's something else. There's some other stuff. But that's the main thing. And however you go through, whatever you go through, like we were talking about when we first started the show today, which was fear. At the end of the day, that's why it's so important. Even the Spirit said to me, thank you, Spirit, for bringing that back to me. The Spirit said to me, that in the process, it is important for you to meditate day in and day out. That is so important because that is how you stay connected to the vortex. We talk about the pineal gland. We talk about that third eye. Okay, that pineal. Think about it. We're like computers. When God said, it left us to it. It did. God did like, hey, I'm going to see what this is going to do. It's like that magical checkbox list. Spirit compared it to a video game. You choose a certain piece for a part and you let it do what it's going to do. You let the symphony play out. So that's what the divine is doing. Divine source energy is allowing for the symphony to play out. But in that process, on the board, there's your spirit team, there's the angelic realm, there's your angels, you've got saints, you've got certain archangels, you've got ancestors and spirit guides. Yes, you do. Okay, it's like a whole life force out there. Like when there's so many parallels that the divine gives us. Just like if there's a football game, you have the coach, you have the side coach, you've got the cheerleaders, you've got, what I'm saying? You've got your whole thing. Well, imagine the game of life. God said, I created the game of life and it was meant to be fun. And God said, it's like you got a football game. Like, I made the game of life. So we got to get back to the fun. But before we get back to the fun, though, see, we're getting ready for the playoffs. Okay, so and us getting ready for the playoffs, some things got to be changed. Everything that we experience in this earth is as a result of something, of what we created it to be. We did it. Okay, you tripping on somebody cursing? No, they cursing because that's the word we made up. It's a passionate word. God on undo. God's like, you worried about the wrong thing. You worried about a curse word. How about how you gonna serve? Checkmate. What are we talking about? That's what the divine is saying. And your point is, I don't care. Jeez. You know what I'm saying? Can you get on with the game? That's what the Spirit's saying. Can you get on with the game? So the reason I want you to meditate day in and day out is so that you can be in the position to spiritually be able to discern what's communicating with you. What are you adhering to? When you begin to meditate day in, day out, follow your desires. As I say, it's like your soul continues on lifetime after lifetime until it gets into a taxi that's listening. At this point, I call us taxis, I'm sorry, but hey, look. Some of you guys have limo services, okay? Because you're listening. You're listening to the divine, okay? So lifetime after lifetime, it has this responsibility. It was given the mission. It was that piece in the game, like, or the video games. That's what the Spirit compared it to. Thank you, Father. It compared it to the video games. Not the football, but the video games. Because video games, and the Spirit was like, you know how you go up level after level, and then they pick certain parts for the level, certain characters for the levels. I only remember that because I remember one time somebody explaining that to me when my son was like I was at our friend's house, but my son's friend Jacob, I think that he was playing a game or something, and I remember having some conversation about that, and he's like my little nephew. That's what we're all family. So I remember that part, and the Spirit brought that back to me. It was like imagine that, so that I can have a visual about how things are selected, if you would. You know what I mean? You have a part. So your soul was that person, that entity energy. The soul is just like you. Just doesn't have arms and legs. You get what I'm saying? And it chose you. So consider it an honor. It chose to do life with you. It chose to do life with you. And the reason it chose to do life with you is because your bloodline, it has what it needs in order to be able to pass the baton. The soul is fulfilling a mission. Because we have not known, we were, like God say, I was gaslit centuries ago. And because the divine source energy, we were fed an adverse version, not even a version, okay? An adverse aspect of the divine source. Because we were fed that, given that, so that there was some level of control, and we were able to be managed by this idea of what God is. They were able to control a system by what our understanding of God was. We were free, but not free, not even knowing that we weren't free at all. Not knowing that, our flesh and blood, we may be fighting for that freedom, but guess what else is going on? There is a mental slavery that is definitely real, okay? Real. So the divine is like, okay, so this is how it was. We're going to bring it on back home. Okay, so in that scenario of how we were told, we were not in the position at that time. We have not been in the position of meditating day in, day out, day in, day out, so that we can stay in that frequency. Stay in the vortex of the divine source energy. so that we're able to be guided. But as a result of where we've been, there are some things that have to be done. So there are some, yes, continue forward so that you don't rack up more karma. We didn't even know that even in the scriptures and the way they were giving us certain things, that those were actually curses that are written. That people are God, we get all into that goal of the soul. I've learned so much. You may think you're doing something nice and you're praying over somebody, but in fact, you're saying something that's not cool. Back to the lecture at hand. Divine source energy has it where what we are to experience is here for us, but we have to intentionally go about life so that we can transcend into the heaven experience that the divine source energy had vision of humankind in the beginning. We're going to have to change some things. We're going to have to accept our freedom mentally. That's what you got to do. I mean, welcome to the freedom riders. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. I remember a niece coming over to my house. I think this is a great example. I remember a niece coming over. She was living with me at the time, actually. She was 19 years old. She even had a baby. And she said to me, when the kids, my son would do a Bible group in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan for Lasser and Andover school students would come to our house every Thursday, and we lived down the street from Cranbrook. So when they would get done, all the kids, they would go to Cranbrook and do their thing, and it was dark outside. It was cool. I didn't mind. It was wonderful. They looked forward, and I would engage with the parents sometimes, and when they come and get the kids and this and that, and it was just wonderful. A wonderful time. But I remember my niece, she was new at my house, and she sat at my office, in the chair in my office as the kids were getting ready to go to Cranbrook to hang out, do their thing, these high schoolers, She said, "Auntie, can I go?" "What did you say, baby?" "Can I go?" I don't know why I almost feel like crying right now. Because that type of control and bondage is something that our world has been in. Sorry, I'm a little emotional about it. I remember being scared of my freedom spiritually. I remember I wrote Pregnant in the Spirit, How to Birth a Life of True Purpose, and I threw the manuscript across the room when I got done, and I'm like, I really thought I was the first person in the world to be conscious because I was so not in that world. I'm like, God, how do you expect me to tell this to the world? There's no way. They're all going to laugh at you. Back then, I was kind of worried about what people thought. Now I don't give a what you think. But anyways, I remember that. I was very scared. And so to see my niece, I think she asked me more than once, and I told her, I said, "Baby, you are free. And you can go. Hell, if you don't, you're not, just because you're at my house doesn't mean that you have to, I want respect. So let me know if you're not going to come home one night. Just let me know that you're not going to come home one night. We're family. If you're going to go down the street, and of course, hell, you're older than all of them. Can you look out for me? Of course, you're free. You're free to go have fun. You're free. And it's okay, my baby. I'm not going to say her name because I didn't ask permission. I like to respect people in their space because that is a personal story. So, but anyhow, and I have quite a few nieces, so don't go to... You don't know who I'm talking about. So anyway. Yeah. So we're going to get it together. Get it together. I want you guys to have a fabulous day. I was going to get on here just for a moment. I didn't know where it was going, but yeah. This Saturday, like I said, I want you guys to subscribe to my channel, Dr. Princess-Odilia, on YouTube here, so that you can know what you're doing when we're going to start the show, the countdown for the return of Prince and the Celestial. And I'm going to say, warning, trigger, there are some paranormal, a lot of paranormal footage. A lot. And also the messages to Lenny Kravitz. Shout out to Lenny Kravitz and to Zoe and to Lisa Bonet but the message was to Lenny. I'm saying that because that's Lenny's family, you know. Yeah, they're, and you know, he's got family. I love it. I absolutely love it. Shout out to Usher and his mother. I mean, I just found out so much stuff. Shout out to Usher's mother. I mean, so many things I found out from Prince and my relationship with Prince. Some of you, so between now and then, you know, get it together. Some of you are having dreams. You have very special gifts. My mom began to tell me some things that happened to her as a child that she suppressed, and I know she did it. You know, she did it. She told me close to her death, and I know because I'm sure the closer she got to that experience of crossing over, that she was able to see that she knew who I was, and she was able to see that I would understand. And so she told me, and I was wise enough not to tell her, wow, Mom, you were a channeler. Like, that's not witchcraft. And you'll understand so many different things about certain terms. And just like right now, Spirit said, pull some cards. Okay. So like I told you guys. Oh, okay. Okay, so. Oh, man. All right. So like I told you guys, life is a game. It's meant to be fun, and we're going to have some fun, okay? A lot of things, tomato, when I was a little girl, I used to pull cards. And I'm going to stop. This is, I just say this because I'm sensitive to people who do not understand. I don't want you to miss a message because you're tripping on somebody pulled some cards or somebody said a word that you were taught was wrong. Okay. I remember when I was little, I used to wonder, like, I got in trouble. I was punished for saying shoot. Okay. And I was always, I guess, kind of edgy or whatever, but I was punished for saying shoot. Okay. And I remember, I don't know if I think I said it out loud. Like, was it? No, or maybe I really thought about it. I'm not sure which one I did, but I didn't understand what was the difference between the shoot and except for the vowel. So how is one I'm going to hell and the other one I'm not? I'm just saying. I remember getting socked twice from a bully because I turned my head so they can sock me because I thought that I was going to go to hell if I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I used to pull cards when I was little from my mom's little scripture. She had a scripture case, and I used to pull cards from there all the time. Then I remember I wanted to go to the Chinese restaurant. You know why? Because I wanted to go to the Chinese restaurant because they had a note in that little cookie. And I would collect everybody's notes that they left on the table and all of that stuff. Well into my grown year. I'd still do that to this day, right? Or after I read the Bible one full time, I would be like, Holy Spirit, what do you want me to read? Like, I would turn the page and magically flip on a page, and that's what I focused on that day. When I was going through depression and going through my healing process, I couldn't see straight. Hell, I didn't know where I was going, okay, or anything. And I was sitting in front of the TV and, Holy Spirit, what is my message? I don't care about who I listen to. I listen to a whole bunch of people. So what am I listening to today? Am I listening to TD Jakes, or am I listening to Joel Osteen? And as I modulated through my evolutionary process, the whole roar and and all that performance and emotional stuff, I couldn't even relate to that anymore. That's not where my spirit was guiding me. I wanted to hear don't worry about it. As you come into the experience of your peace, let the divine flow. It will happen when it's happening. God loves you anyway. I needed that. Shout out to Joel Osteen. All that other stuff. Can we get to the message? I really needed that. And not calling any, I understand. I get it. I really get it. Where we've come from. It's a lot. And I tell people that a master manipulator, what I have seen, because I was gaslit for years, and master manipulation, they are performers for their audience. They perform for you to believe the lie. They're performers. They need Academy Awards. They need Globe Awards, okay? Because they are something else. And that doesn't mean that somebody that's crying is a manipulator. But beware of those who... You have to just beware. You have to follow the energy, the spirit. For those of you who are staying in the vortex. Now, if you're not in the vortex and you're not meditating and you're not doing that part, then yeah, you got some things to clean out first. So some of the things that we're preparing now are certain meditations to clear the space, like daily things that we pray. Certain way that we meditate. Like I imagine because I know that my soul is an entity energy, just like I'm an entity energy that just have arms and legs and stuff, so you are the same way. That's who you are. You're an entity that have arms and legs. Your soul is an entity just like you. It doesn't have arms and legs. It's an entity energy. It's an energy entity. It's paying attention. It sees, or does your spirit team, your ancestors, the people that have come before you, depending on where you are in your journey. Some of them are here with you, like in physical, like that, on ground. It's so much. I don't want to miss anything, so I'm not gonna half do it. So, but it is important for you to understand that. So I clean out my house, it's like clean out your car. I clean it out in the morning. And it's all about thinking. That's how we created all the muck out here. That's how we created all these like squatters. Entity energies that didn't come from birth. They came from ideas of negativity, ideas of murder and pain and this and that. So we are saying that's done for those that are being created moving forward, because I have done a meditation and prayer for that. That is done. That is clearing out in the earth. It's like clearing the space. So we're going to clear the space, get it all clean, and then begin to inhale and embody peace and love and joy and long suffering. Joy. Oh well, God said long suffering. Yeah, perseverance, patience, resilience. Wow, when you say it like that, because like patience is long suffering. Wow, resilience, suffering without complaint. Wow. Because if you suffer with complaint and you end up in that type of energy, then what you find yourself doing, you find yourself in a situation where suffering. Wow. You find yourself in a situation where you can actually be creating karma. You can be creating negative entity energies. So this is going to be a very sensitive time for us to create. It's going to be a very sensitive time for us because we're going to have to really understand that wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. And you can't just trust everybody. You can't trust every smile that you see. You just can't, especially nowadays, because too many people are woke. So the entity energies that have been running amok and doing everything that it's wanted to do, they've wanted to do all of this time for centuries. Okay, strong as hell and bloodlines and all of that. Generational curse breakers got something to do. Some people are in relationships because they are generational curse breakers. So you're going to have to go through something so you can break something, like Auntie Fifi said. Okay, watch the show, The Clarissa Show featuring Auntie Fifi. Okay, that's what she said. Sometimes you got to go through something to break something. Okay, that's those generational curse breakers. And that's what I am. Spirit, that was the first thing Spirit said to me was, congratulations, you've broken a generational curse. I didn't know I was breaking generational curse. I just knew I was being guided and I was following everything that the Spirit said for me to do. Thank you for kicking it with me this morning. So I'm going to pull a card. We're going to pull an animal. You know, one of the things that while I've been on this journey was the animals. The animals that showed in the sky. I even saw a blood sacrifice in the sky. It's on video. Don't worry about it. You'll see it. That's why I say it's paranormal. So you better be careful. When you turn, it's Prince in the Celestial. Prince's face in the sky. Okay? A whole family going on up in there. Okay? So all kind of things. It's wonderful things you're going to see. The purple sky. I didn't paint that. I took the picture, and what I was looking at was blue with just a really, 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 really bright star that was there every night that I parked my car at this spot for some time of it. Okay, so I don't know about you, but I gotta get going, baby. So let's see where we are here. So we're going to pull a card. We're going to say, Holy Spirit, where do you want? And I have, Spirit want me to give you a couple people. I'm going to give you a couple people. And it's very important for those of you who watch spiritual readers to be guided. Because just like how a lot of ministers, which we'll talk about them later, God, in Convos with God does have a message for, okay, Lord. I want to keep my little stack there. Has wow. I had this group of cards. They were so perfect. They were something that Spirit gave me, and I wanted to take pictures of it, but Spirit's going to put it together. And this is what I'm going to give you guys. The difference between these cards and Uno cards is that Uno doesn't use the Spirit. Uno is like religion. It's, any type of indoctrinated is all textbook, right? You play the game. There's no transformation taking place except you win or you lose. That's it. And you are off the court. Everybody say, dang, you lost. Either you're a sore loser or you're not. These cards right here, the idea is that you are to be guided. And it's a lot of inspiration and transformation, transformational messages that come from it. It's a tool of fun. It's like, let's have some fun. It's literally an opportunity to have fun and to connect with the Spirit. And, to see how you're being guided. So there are a lot of those who are part of the 144. I was able to heal from some things that I was unaware of. So Spirit guided me to understand so that I can begin to let go a lot of the way I was thinking and being, let it go, and realize I was doing it all along anyways. I've been doing it. I mean, literally since a child. So it's just really wonderful. And so let's see, Holy Spirit, I'm going to do this. And let me stop acting like I have to rush, because I don't have to rush. If you need to come back, okay? I don't have to rush. That's right. This is fine. When you're in the flow, allow yourself to flow. When I do a message from the cards, I'm doing a message and I don't follow a system. I've never read a book about it or nothing. Okay? At all. It's the spirit. And you got some people who feel they can learn how to do cards. I don't want somebody, be able to be discerned. But I'm not trying to learn how to do. I'm not trying to make something that is supposed to be spirit. This is like an energy of spirit. Okay? Not nobody could have told me about. Okay, you got another one? Okay. All right, and on the bottom, watch, it allows me to pull exactly what I was already had in the stack that I want. Oh my God, those were good. Anyways, okay, so we're going to bottom of the deck, okay? All right, so this is the shaman, all right? It says, you are the creator and magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the wild. Claim your place as keeper of the mysteries. Wow, isn't that something? Says, which I am and have been every lifetime. Isn't that interesting? Happiness collection, convos with God, make it make sense, please. The common ground, breaking down the walls between us. Say hello to my new friend Anger, and Goal of the Soul book, and the workbook that includes the human evolution equation that was given to me in the process of this connection. The bonus book is Pregnant in Spirit, How to Birth Life, True Purpose. And also don't forget, if you have gone through any type of gaslighting, mental illness, please check out the Clarissa Show. You're going to laugh and heal at the same time. Enjoy also a message, the True Purpose Development Show that was done with my late cousin, Patrick Cage, who talked about getting little. Okay? And he says, look, when you can't know nothing else, follow the energy. Okay, how is it making you feel? If you feel a certain way, you follow that feeling. Okay, because that's why I want y'all to check out the Clarissa Show. Check out the music in the Clarissa Show. Those songs and all of that was an intuitively guided show. I did not plan it, did not write not one show. Didn't even know it was a show until about 3 months in, okay, when the stuff just kept coming to me. Before I knew it, it was a whole thing, okay? So listen, y'all, yes, we've been working. Co-creating with the divine has been amazing. I encourage you all to do it. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so these were the cards. Okay, patience, baby. Patience, okay? That's something I said, God, that's why I never asked you for patience. Because patience, the Lord told me, I was wondering why I didn't get an answer one day. And, okay, Spirit said, go ahead with the card. I'll tell y'all a story later. It says, create a place in nature's stillness and be renewed. Take time alone to find balance. Step confidently towards your purpose. Patience will bring you rewards. And there we go. You see that? Patience will bring you reward. That is something that I had to do in this process. I had to do that. This is how I was able to connect with the wild, if you would. Because I had to connect with the wild. This is so important to me because it reminds me of the black that came in like a flood one day, which is how I started with the celestial experience. How Prince showed up in the room, in the sky, the first day, along with the divine, the phoenix. It's crazy, y'all. Don't worry about it. You're going to find out. Don't you worry about it. Y'all going to find out. The next card is grace. Grace. You who glide across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. Okay? You guys take a picture of it. The next one is old soul. You are an old soul. Most of us are very old souls because we've been here so long. You know why soul's been here so long? And on this particular game in this mission is because we've not known. It's like been getting in taxis, getting in vehicles that didn't have they weren't following directions. Okay, so now we're getting into this place where we are able to follow the divine. We are able to go with the divine. Okay, so it says, walk through life with confidence and grace. You have power from beyond the world. Focus on what you really want. You can create your dreams. And this is so true. And we know that, right? Old soul. You can create your own dreams. Okay. And then here's something. This is also an image I saw in the sky too. The eyes. The way that is. It's so interesting. Amazing. And then here we go. Nobility. We have the elk. Now I'm in Georgia, right? A lot of times things happen before you don't even realize what's happening when it's happening, right? You have no idea of what is happening when it's happening. Okay. So it says, celebrate your accomplishments with humility. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. So here's the deal. Now I'm here, minding my own business, driving home one night on Lake Windward. Lake Windward Drive. Before turning to my street, I see 4 of these. Alpharetta, Georgia. I didn't even know what they were called. I remember getting out of the car. I have a picture of the street, where my lights were in the street, but I didn't know. I would have taken a picture of this. I think I was kind of frozen in time because I turned around and I looked. The weird thing is that they were coming out of the water. The man-made Lake Windward, out of the water. Walked slowly and they looked at me. We weren't that far apart. But because they looked like this, a little fatter, about that, and they were big. I'm like, those aren't deer. I mean, deer were in my yard and on the road on the way. It's no big deal, but these were not that. And there was 4 of them. I did not know that the message that it was giving was that. I mean, I had a turkey walk across my car. In its hermit process, it's been amazing. A lizard and a chicken head in the sky, goes back to my Egyptian soul. Goddess Isis carried my soul. In case you guys have not seen, okay, and I'm not going to go through all of it. There are six people. And I wasn't even into all of that stuff. The goddess and the Romans and who gives a crap, right? Who cares? Let me just live my life. What are we doing here? And then miracles. I was getting ready to go, you're up for a miracle. I'm looking for a miracle. Yeah. I expect the impossible. Okay. You are the joy bringer. You bless the world with positivity and love. Energy soars on your shining wings. Spread the miracle of happiness. Did you hear that? Spread the miracle of happiness. All right. Oh, this has been wonderful. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. All right. Listen, I'm going to pull another I'm just following the spirit. We just follow the spirit here. So whatever spirit says. And before we go, I'm going to give you, the spirit had me to study some people. Because I want no one to be misled. And there are certain levels to consciousness, so not everybody's going to understand everything that somebody says. Yes, the spirit even told me before I was introduced to this part, the spirit said, don't be deterred or turn away because of the colorful nature or presentation of someone, i.e. like Prince. If you knew Purple Rain was actually a spiritual anthem. That's why people went, Purple Rain. If you knew that he was a spiritual leader, right? That he clarifies to me the reason he died. It's a little different than what man have thought. It's a little different. All right. So I'm gonna put a couple of these out, how I'm guided, and then I want you guys to do your own work. I want you to go and search it yourself, because I'm not gonna go through it. I don't know what they mean. I don't know for the most part. I don't know what it means. Oh wow, they just flipped out. There it goes. Wow. Okay. All right, so take whatever resonates and leave what doesn't. Take what resonates and leave what does not. That's how we gonna do that. Okay. For today, because the way I'm recording this, it's, oh wow, that's just like right there, huh? Ooh boy. All right, so this is what we have. And I want you to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And I want you to look it up. You're going to study, show yourself to self-approved. Look it up. And you will see what applies to you and what doesn't. Wow. That's what's happening. All right, so what I'm going to have to do. Okay. We have the Prince of Cups, 10 of Wands, 5 of Wands in reverse. Pay attention to this. And the Ace of Disc. And the Lovers. Trumps. This is the Top Thoughts deck. You guys watch Game of Thrones and all of that stuff? Yeah. Cards tell a story. It tells a story, and there's arcanas and there's spiritual messages in every single one. It reads energy. When you get into cards, if someone is, you got people who are, they just learned how to do it. You can't make it just like preachers. Some of them preachers became preachers because they wanted a 501c3 and they get paid. I've known people to know consciousness, but then refused to tell the congregation they wanted to preach hell and damnation because that's what the congregation wanted to hear. That's what they were used to hearing, so that's what they said. But on a personal level, I knew them and I knew what they knew, and they refused to tell the congregation the truth. So, because it would then cause for them to lose the control that they were accustomed to having over their congregation. I remember I didn't want to tell my children that, hey, sex before marriage wasn't a sin. It was more so, who are you laying with? Some of y'all shouldn't have married the person you was marrying. You were attracted to them because that was something that was familiar in your bloodline, not because it was you were attracted to the energy that you were familiar with, that your blood was familiar with, that your soul was familiar with. with. There were things in my evolutionary process that I did not totally heal from until I realized who I had been who had carried my soul in my past life, and therefore my soul was carrying baggage from that entity, energy attachment, and I was able to heal. I'm like, oh my gosh, that person died with fear, for example. That person took their own life in the past life because they wanted to, not because they didn't want to. It was a sense of strength. But that particular immunity, I was able to bring it to the next life. It's so many things that we don't understand that are just very important for the game. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. Okay, so listen. Yeah, so the Spirit said to share this with you guys. A couple people. Today we're going to bring out, and it's, okay, Shavi Zane. She's somebody, these are YouTube channels that I was guided to and that I've studied them. Some of them don't even know that I've been studying them, and you'll be getting an email from me, from our team. So, yes, I want you to pay attention. Jadina. I love this little young lady. I love her because one thing for sure, she's very powerful. And not only that, she's just been going by faith. It's so amazing how her life has gone and how she's grown magnificently. Like in a few months, she's pushing 200,000 subscribers, and really just being connected. And what comes to me is compassion, because that is something that we're going to be reconnecting with in this process as we reconstruct the world how we want it, how we redefine things how we want it, how we're guided along this passageway. It's going to be also the mission of compassion, something that we've lost. I make fun of it, but okay, I'm gonna say this first. Water Star Vibes. Jadina also is spelled J-H as in Henry, A-D as in dog, I-N-A. Water Star Vibes. She was one of the first ones that I was introduced to, that popped up on my phone. Transcendent Tarot. That is for someone who out there, I love her, but she is definitely above the 5 dimensions. She's very, very connected, very inspirational as well. Mystic 9, the intuitive. Mystic 9, the intuitive. This young brother that I like, and I'm gonna put his information in the description, okay? But I just like him. He's really good. There's some people that are entertainers, if you would. They tell you how they tell you, and you cannot look. Don't worry about the cursing. I guess a lot of times I'm very sensitive to my background, and so it's like I want you guys to get it. But I'm going to tell you this, and let this be a notion. I'm not going to keep, oh, okay, so this is what I mean. This message is for whoever is hearing it, who is not hearing it. If you're not here yet, that's okay. Catch you on the flip side. But the train has started. The playing field is being cleaned up. Okay, it's being cleaned up, and the playoffs, we're picking teams, the transformation of our world is starting. The human evolution is starting. We're doing the celebration. Prince encouraged me to do it on May 5th. All right, so I was trying to find out, what does May 5th mean? What is May 5th? What is May 5th? And then I found out it was Cinco de Mayo. I'm like, you know what, you fun. Because, hey, the way it was introduced to me was really, really fun. It was really fun. Like I said, Prince revealed to me about his death. It all ties. Everything ties together. even how he ended up in the situation that he ended up. The people that he said that he wants me to bring this out to, there's a specific reason that he spoke about Lenny. He that's his boy. He really loved Lenny. There's a reason that he spoke about these things. The three people that we're talking about, we're going to talk about on that day, on May 5th, that you'll hear in the show, is they're tied to this mission. They're tied to this mission, and I mean, Lenny is like his brother. He really I just got to keep saying that. And because I've been so amazed. I had no idea who Lenny Kravitz was, at all. I kind of heard the name, and when Prince mentioned it, then it made me think again, like, who is Lenny? I think I've heard that before, and then Prince. I didn't even know it was going here. I thought I was just literally, guys, I was just gonna put up the photos that I took of the sky with him and how it started, because he kicked it off, I would say, for sure. And it all spun out into something so much deeper. The message, I found out so much about Prince that I never ever knew. I wasn't allowed to get into Prince. I wasn't allowed to even watch Prince in any kind of way. I dare not tell somebody that was my name. Like I used to be first violinist for a band. That the year I was first violinist, they were selected to go play for the president, and my mom was afraid to allow me to go. So I, as a first violinist, wasn't allowed to go to play. And anyhow, but I was good. I'm gonna tell you, I was real good. So anyhow, as first violinist, and somebody in my class, she used to wear purple and she used to dress like Prince all the time. Well, see, I was taught that was all demonic and everything. I had no idea that Prince was a spiritual anthem himself. I had no idea who Lenny was. Prince told me to go and look up the relationship between, told me exactly what to put in my computer. So I did, and took me down this journey. So briefly, I'll talk about it. There's a segment in the show where I'm gonna say and talk about what he tells Lenny, and just the whole 9 yards is just simply amazing. So listen, I love you guys. I got to go. What did he say to Usher too, and Usher's mother? It's wonderful. We're all going to be connected, going back to like the Bible days. Remember in the Bible days, they used to say, like, Gabriel just walked in the room, but it wasn't one person that saw the angel Gabriel. The whole room saw Gabriel. It was like, hey, Gabriel just walked in here. We're going to get back to that point of elevation. Churches will change. It'll be a different way of doing church. It'll be communities that will get together to share and to get in the game, to help people discover the truth of who they are, to be able to break away from those things that no longer serve you, to help people who are going through the shadow, to allow people who are going through their shadow work and having to do whatever they're paying. Some people they're going to be paying for their karma. Well, you can't get in the midst of that. You can't, and empaths, there's people who are very, very personal and emotional, sensitive to people's pain and all of this. While we are being compassionate, knowledge is power. So you allow, look, that you have to be guided. Just because a person is suffering on the street doesn't mean that you run and get them off the street, because that may be their period of karma. That may be something that they need to go through so that they can become the better version of themselves. That may be something that the soul needs for that person to experience. So it needs you to back off, okay? So a lot of people have been what I describe as spiritual abortionists. In fact, you're there thinking you helping somebody and you're really hurting an entire situation. And then with ignorance, you're an abortionist, spiritual abortionist, if you would, and sometimes they got to get you out the way. You end up having to be out of somebody's life because you in the way and you didn't realize that you were in the way. They're not growing because of you and your quote unquote helping hand that you're really not helping. You're really hurting them. So all of that is very important. This is not a joke. This is the real deal. Now look, I'm just playing with these cards and look at what come out. Intuitive. Okay. Those animals, pay attention to all of the signs that you're getting every day. Pay attention. You know what I'm saying? You just walking down the street and a duck walk in front of you. You think that's for nothing? You better go look up what is the spiritual meaning of a duck. What is the spiritual meaning of a duck? Because especially for our church community, while we've been all in the clouds some darn where, not even been in the clouds. We thought we were in the clouds. We weren't in the clouds. We were praising God on hell's flames. That's what we was doing. We was trying to poke them. We really were. And God understand that. But this is not about you. This is not about me. And just because you may not know something doesn't afford you the opportunity to play in the game. Because I could feel sorry for you that you didn't know. But now that you know and you're hearing and it is coming across your path, pay attention. This is something that I invite you guys to say and to pray. God, if I don't know you, show me you. God had to tell a friend of mine and then a stranger who was trying to be a client of mine. God said, what they say, I don't know who you are, but God wants you to himself. I cannot talk to you. Deep. Like, what? My friend, I was wondering, if you didn't want to talk, all you had to do was say that. You didn't have to go. You didn't have to go there talking about what God said, So then God sent a stranger who didn't know that other person. I didn't even know they were fond of me. We were talking about business, and in the middle of a business conversation, intercepted and said, I don't know who you are, but God wants you to himself. What? Ooh, God was like, Bogart, that's my boo. That's my boo. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. It's some real stuff, though, for real. And one of them, he's still my friend today. Wow. You know who you are. Shout out to you, man. I'm just telling you, mad love. But then later, I went back and I told them, I says, do you know I was just having a conversation? I told them what happened. And he said, God said that you're basing the knowledge that you have of him off of your past experience. What you mean? Okay. And that was all good. El Shaddai, Elohim, Jehovah Jireh. What you talking about? What we talking about? Oh, man. And a few weeks later, I had to humble myself. I'm like, because I had written The Armor of God then. I hadn't even written Pregnant in the Spirit at the time. And I wrote The Armor of God. And I said, I had just started learning a little bit about spiritual warfare. I had no clue. Man, I wasn't even ready. What I found out this past year. Boy, y'all better wake up. So, you wake up on the other side. And it's all good. You just be a part of the other ancestral team that's helping out. Okay. But anyways, I said, wow. God, if I don't know you, show me you. If I don't know you, show me you. I had to humble myself. Because there's no way that you just orchestrated this whole entire situation telling people to tell me, people that don't even know each other, the same identical thing. God wants you to himself. And that powerful statement of God says you're basing the knowledge God said you're basing the knowledge that you have of him off of your past experience. There is more to know. There is more to, that right there was so powerful, because there is so much more to discover. So much more. And I'm so honored to have been the one carrying the torch, the blueprint to our heaven on earth, the golden key that unlocks the door to the heaven that we've been searching for. The answers to the questions that have been asked far back as Aristotle. The understanding of our soul in its depth. The interaction and play with our ancestors, spirit guides, angelic team, and realm. I'm elated to be here in this lifetime for this mission. I'm honored to serve you with this information, with this knowledge. I'm happy to be a conduit, a supporter of those who have gone before us, who are here with us now, showing us, yes, we are present in the sky, giving me actual paranormal, as we describe, evidence of it. To be able to communicate and to hear in the spirit realm and be able to say that loud with strength to you, and to give messages to those who I'm sure would be happy to hear it from Prince to Lenny to Usher. I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to accept my calling as an ascended master. I'm so happy to have met my soul, and I had to thank my soul. The other day, I'm like, wow, wait a minute. You're the one. Thank you, man. This whole time you've been coming lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. You've had this mission centuries ago. You were the one that was in the background, energetically connecting with entity energies, i.e. humankind, in different forms, in hopes they'd listen. Are you woke yet? Are you woke yet? Lifetime after lifetime, you woke? Dang. You got another one. I got so many chills. I love you too. That's the romance. That's the romance. And I've really got, I don't even know if I can stand up. Oh, it's so wonderful. I'm so glad we had this time together. And I hope that we can sing along. For me and you for me forever. Good night. Well, this is a thing too. It's one thing. Yes, we are getting ready to do a spiritual war. In a way that will shock many people. The new movie, Sinners, is coming out, I believe, April 18th. I was getting all kind of subliminal messages in that, but As we get prepared, there's a difference between signing up for war and being forced to war. I'm declaring that this will be much more peaceful than even possibly imaginable or imagined. I have some people that I will be calling and contacting. I want us to help with the understanding. We'll do some shows and we'll talk through some things. The Global Transformation Tour World is July 17th and the 18th. Look forward to the upcoming information regarding that. That'll be given out this week, actually. The release of the promo so that everybody can get ready. And there's some instructions that have been given to me by the divine on how we will go about moving forward. And they're pretty simple. It's not hard. Some people don't like it because they like control. But hey, keep your team, but change it up a little bit. It's not about you. What you talking about? Because see, listen. At the end of the day, when the game, we've been allowed to go this long. This is about God's vision for humankind. This is not about you, and this is not about me. But it's for us. You feel me? It's like, this is God's vision. Like you have a vision, like I have a vision. This is God's vision for humankind. You know how we set up our vision and we walk away from it and let it unfold? So did God with us. Created a vision and let it unfold, allowing us to let it unfold. God said to me, I didn't create karma. Y'all did. I have faith in y'all. Because you all are going to create the new earth. You're going to redefine it. Create what you want. That's what you're going to do. It's all good. Isn't that wonderful? I want us to have fun doing it. There are key leaders in place. Everybody's not chosen. It's not economic. It's not social. Everybody's not chosen because you're a certain color or race. It has nothing to do with that. It's just about love. I said for 45 years, I didn't even know anything but love. My daughter said to me, Mommy, you only taught us love. You didn't teach us about this right here. As I was surprised at her reaction to someone who had disrespected her, which she had every right to handle her business. I was in awe. Oh, darling, baby, sweet. I'm sorry, I didn't teach you that. She said, I know, Mommy. I love you, but yeah. So, we've got energies that are not going to be exactly happy, and that's okay. But we're going to handle it. And it's going to be good. And you're going to be protected because you are protected. And I'm guided to really move on. Now I am. I love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, this is the final one I pulled intuitive. Okay. It says, listen to the song in your soul. Trust your intuition as you have a way of knowing. Emerge from the busy life and seek more solitude. Recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. Listen here. Your soul is so in love with you. Yeah, it is. When you pass, people will pass. People will stay. The soul is here to fulfill a certain mission, and it's like passing the baton. in a race, and you pass the stick to somebody else, that's what it's doing, lifetime, lifetime. So in every lifetime now, just understand that our souls have certain things that they're here for. Some souls are here the last time. They have actually made it to this point. Not very many, but then there are souls who have not. So souls, I like to look at it like the soul was, getting in the Uber lifetime after lifetime, and each person was not following the map course on the Uber. So it had to keep changing hands. Meanwhile, in the process, picking up karma because of ignorance, because we did not know who we were. So it was driving along, picking up karma, like, dang, I didn't finish my destination, but I got a whole bunch of karma now, right? So now it's got to unload that karma. It's got to get rid of that. And so sometimes it needs you to do it. Sometimes your bloodline, it is connected with you because it has your bloodline. Your DNA is what it needs to move on. So your bloodline, your ancestors may be counting on you. They chose you. They said, okay, this person is going to do it. I don't know why Taniqua just came to my mind. Wow. And I'm going to say, I apologize for those who I have said things about names and stuff. I'm like, where you get that name from? Because I know y'all be saying that, but I'll be like, no, you didn't, Miss Princess-Odilia. Right, that part. Okay. Like, who the hell are you talking about? I know. But anyways, that's what came to me. So, listen, for those of you, you have to understand that the soul is here to do that. And the chosen ones, as I was saying, I asked God, like, what is the difference between called and chosen? Because I was told as a little girl that I was chosen. It was prophesied to me by my mom. And I don't remember much of that prophecy, except that when I told her that I had to change my name when I was 11 years old, I told her I had to change my name. And I didn't know, but I said, I don't know, Eliza. And I felt like Paris, like, if I made it to Paris, I made it. If I could just get to Paris, I knew that I made it. I just knew that I needed to be in the UK. So when I went there to speak, it was interesting how the lady could never get my name straight. She kept saying Lady Odilia. That is something they called Saint Odilia. I dreamt her life, Saint Odilia. So my entire childhood. So that was an easy connection. I found out later when I was guided to look up, okay, it's a long story, but just very briefly, the divine had already informed me about goddess Isis. So I'm like, okay, so I'm reading about goddess Isis, and I'm like, oh my God, like my life and her life is like this, it's crazy, right? It's just really, really insane. So then the spirit told me to look up Eliza, and I did, but I put Eliza and goddess Isis, and badao, there you go. I cannot. I'm like, whoa. So Eliza, and it's interesting because Eliza had an interesting story. I had a nerd and I want to connect with them. Like, I'm not connecting because all the other connections were goddesses, and I come from a royal bloodline on both sides, DNA, my DNA, as well as my soul genealogy. So it was interesting. And for those of you in my family who are watching, yes, we have royal blood. Check it out. Okay. Call me. We'll talk about it. And I'll send you right to the proof and knowledge. Some of you are royal and don't even know it, right? So, so the spirit said that to me. And it was Eliza Sharples. So, and that was why there was the ceramic cup in the sky. Oh God, I can't make this stuff up, I swear. Paranormal experiences, we're going to see it all on May 5th. Subscribe to my channel so that you can get the notification when it starts. And the countdown, you'll be reminded. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. I love you. I do. More than you ever know. Hey, it's for sure. You can always count on my love. Forevermore, I need you. I need you. I need you. I do. More than you'll ever know. Yeah, it's for sure. And you can always count on my love. I love you forevermore. Baby, when we're together, say I'm alright. If you alright, it's like paradise. I just want you to know I need you. I love you. Yeah. I love you. I love you. I do. Hey, more than you ever know. Yeah, it's for sure. And you can count on my love forevermore. Baby, when we're together, say I'm alright. If you're alright, it's like paradise. Say, I just can't let it go. I need you. Oh, I love you. Yeah. I love you. I love you. I do. Hey, more than you'll ever know. Yeah, it's for sure. And you can count on my love forevermore. Yeah, baby, when we're together, say I'm alright. If you're alright, it's like paradise. Hey, and I just want you to know that I need. Oh, I really do. And that's from my soul to all of yours. And you can always count on our love forevermore. We love you. Yeah, we love you. Oh, we love you. We do. More than you ever know. Hey, it's for sure. And you can always count on our love forevermore. Hey, baby, when we're together, I'm alright. If you're alright, it's like paradise. Yeah, and I just want you to know that we love. We really do love you. We love you. Hey, we love you. I love you. And I do. Hey, hey, oh, evermore. Yeah, it's for sure. And we can always count on our love. Hey, forevermore. Hey, baby, when we're together, say I'm alright. You alright? It's like paradise. I love you. Oh, I really do. I don't know where that came from. It came from my soul. It's saying, I love you. Yeah. I love you. Oh, I love you. I do more than you ever know. Hey, it's for sure. Yeah, and we always, it's time to go. Can I take a breath? Can I take a breath? Take a breath. What? Can I take a breath? Can I take a breath? What? Bye, y'all. Have a wonderful, fantabulous day. It's been real. Don't forget Happiness Connection and check me out on drprincessodilia.com. Transformation. It is so. Did you hear what I said? We're going to bring back some compassion and some love, harmony in the earth. That's what it's all about. ICBG. I choose to be guided. Peace.